Hey everybody, good morning. Dan at Motor City Metalcraft. Hillary and the guys asked me to do a little brief explanation of my car here. This is actually, it's a one-off hand-built Roadster. My father created this car from scratch. He completed building the car in 1983. So we're going on, it's a 40-plus-year-old car now. It has a full aluminum body that was all hand-formed and shaped and welded together by, gas welded and metal finished by my dad. The frame of the car is constructed out of tubular chrome alloy steel. A lot of people say, what kind of car is that? And I say, oh, my dad built it. And then they go, oh, it's a kit car. No, it's absolutely not a kit car. It is the only one that's ever been built. It was created piece by piece and fabricated by my father 100%. The parts of this car that he didn't build are things like the engine block. The rear axle wasn't fabricated. But basically, everything that you see was hand built. Except for, like I say, componentry, like say a headlight. He didn't build the headlight. Don't be silly. But when I say he built the whole car, I really do mean it. He built that grille. This is actually fabricated out of 1/8 inch welding rods and silver soldered together and then sent to the chrome shop. He built the seating. He built everything you see here. The car was originally, like I say, completed in 1983, and it had a V6 powering it, which was kind of an experimental engine made by Chevrolet at the time. It was based on a 4.3 liter V6, but it was actually 5 liters of displacement, and it had splayed valve heads on it, which were similar to a big block Chevrolet head. So those V6 cylinder heads, they were the size of a small block. They looked like a big block head, and they were not for a V8. They were for a V6. Those cylinder heads were developed for an engine program for the Indianapolis racing for the Indy 500. In the 80s, there was a stock block class at Indianapolis. So anyway, he got his hands on some really crazy experimental stuff that came out of GM. He put them in this car, but ever since conception, the idea for this car was for it to be like a sprint car for the street. So it's a street legal car. It looks like a sprint car, open wheel dirt track race car, which of course those cars have small block Chevys that are 400 cubic inches and they're aluminum blocks. So that was always the plan for the car. He had this little funny V6 come along and he put it in the car, and it was great for a bit. But after, driving the car for 15 or so years, maybe 20 years, in the early 2000s, he revamped the car. It got a fresh paint job at that time, about 20 years ago now, and it got this updated engine drivetrain. So what we see now is a Dart Racing aluminum block, 400-inch small block Chevy, Dart aluminum cylinder heads, balanced rotating assembly. They wrote an article on this engine in one of the hot rod magazines, so we can we'll reference that in our piece. It's got a Tremec 5-speed transmission. As I mentioned before, it's all aluminum bodywork, so the car's super lightweight. Everything in it is aluminum. The seats are aluminum, the trans tunnel, all of it. So the car ends up weighing 1,805 pounds the last time I weighed it, with about a half a tank of gas in it. So the engine dynoed out at 528 horsepower and about 520 pounds of torque. So, pretty even on those numbers. And weighing under 2,000 pounds, I'm sure you can imagine it's just a heck of a handful. It's really not, I like to say it's really not drivable, because you really can't, give it all it's got. The car will just go sideways and go out of control. But it's a lot of fun. It makes really great sounds and cam noises and stuff. People enjoy the car and they smile and they wave, but as far as practicality, it gets about a 0. But I drive around a little bit. Mostly it's just kind of a great reminder of my dad and his craftsmanship. So we park it out in front of the shop and it gets a lot of looks. But yeah, this one will be with me forever, I think.